All right, this is the checklist. This is the checklist. It's basically the financial driver checklist for a case, is what it is. This checklist for personal injury attorneys to evaluate the potential soft tissue spinal injury award and stop low ball offers. That's what it says. That's what I wanted to say, because that's what I'm going to go to the attorney's office with. Remember, at the end of the presentation, one of the steps you're going to do is offer them 2 financial driver evaluations for 2 cases. This is what you're going to use. This is the checklist you're going to use. Let me tell you how this came about. This is real interesting how this came about. I go to the attorneys. You know, the more you interact with attorneys and the more you ask a lot of questions, the more you find out what they do and don't know. So I go over there and I find out a couple things. Number one, when they get their records by most doctors, it's a complete mess. Not like our narrative reports. Our narrative reports are heaven compared to what they get. That's why they love our narrative reports, how clean and sequential it is. They're used to just getting stacks of documents and medical documents. Now remember, they're attorneys. They're not as good with medical information, are they? Medical law. So they really kind of got to learn they have to learn another industry language to be pretty good, don't they? Well, they don't know what they have. They don't know how it all comes together. Here's what I learned about most personal injury attorneys. I'd say B and C attorneys. A's have educated themselves enough to learn how to get the information, to learn how to find it, get it, and put it together. But the vast majority of attorneys are not A's. What I found is, and this is why they like tests, because the tests are the easiest for them to recognize in all the notes. It's easy for them to recognize an MRI, an NCV. That's what they do. What they don't know how to do is the 12-step program. That's what they don't know how to do. To some degree they do, but no way the steps we talk about. So what they do is they just dig through their notes to see if they have an MRI or a nerve or this, you know, the big diagnostic test. And you already know most cases don't have that, right? So now what do they have? If that's all they know, the MRI or the disc, you know, and it's not there, because it's not there most of the time, right? What do they think they have now? Nothing. And what do they think they can do with it? They don't know they don't know what to do with it. They have no idea. What's that called for you? It's called opportunity. That's opportunity. That's what's going on. I'm telling you, that's what's going on. They got crap. They got all these notes and when I will go over and do the financial, it's going to amaze you. You go over, when I went over and did the financial driver analysis, they come out with their stacks of notes. And it's just a mess. It's a mess. The doctors don't put it in any sequential order like we do at all. The attorney's got to fight through to find stuff. And they don't know. Do they know subjective? Yeah. Do they know hybrid findings? No. And they know very few objective findings. Don't know the MRI or NCV, but that doesn't happen with the majority of cases. So that's what they do. They just look for the big stuff. Was there an injury, the symptoms, and what diagnostic test? Because that'll kind of tell me how big of an injury do they have. And then they'll go to property damage. That's how they'll look at a case. How limiting is that for an injury award? And by the way, if that's all you knew and it wasn't there, how strong would your fight be to not accept a low ball offer and go for more? Can you see why they won't have much of a fight? You see, make sense? Guess who gets to save them from all that? You do. So you come in with this financial driver. That's why this sheet was created. I saw they didn't know how to put it together. So I created this sheet, and here's what it is. It's simply all the most common findings, subjective, hybrid, and objective. It's the most common findings that you'll have in a soft tissue spinal injury case, because I can't do it for every case, can I? So we're going to keep it limited to our specialty. And then I said, okay, here's all the findings. Here's the checklist. All you got to do, Mr. Attorney, is go through your notes and find it. So take this topic and go find it. Do you have it or not have it? If you have it, check. Go to the next one. Go look for this one in all your notes. Do you have it or not have it? And if you have it, here's the 12 steps that puts the case together. Here's the 12 steps that tells the story and builds the injury award. If you have them all. If you don't, the boxes that aren't checked are all your weak spots. You have a couple options. Try to go get those documented either from the existing, one of the existing doctors, but chances are he won't do it, or he would have done it in the first place. Or you can send them to me. I will go and document what's been left out, and then we can add it as an addendum. Do you see how you handle this? Do you see how you're coming in to save them? You're coming in to educate them. You're coming in to create authority. You're coming in to show them how you're going to take them to the promised land and stop the pain. That's what this does.